UFC fighter Justin Jaynes has his next fight. It got pushed back due to whole COVID and all that fun stuff, but we finally have a date. December 5th, UFC Vegas 16. You are back in the Apex, and you'll be taking on Gabriel Benitez in your lightweight bout. Your third UFC fight. So how are you feeling about this one?
Man, I'm super excited. I'm mostly excited going back to lightweight, man. Lightweight's my home. I feel the best so far at lightweight. Haven't really figured out how to feel as good at featherweight. I think with time, with the coaching staff I have, the UFC's brought my nutritionist, my strength conditioning, and PT. Eventually, we're going to figure it out. But for now, we haven't figured it out yet. So let's just fight at lightweight and feel good all the time and not ugly out.
That's perfect. Well, I mean, lightweight, you were former Total Warrior Combat lightweight champion. So this is definitely your weight class right here. And then, so now it must be nice to actually kind of gain like a camp for this one because, of course, your first fight, you weren't even on the card or you weren't even on the roster that Tuesday. Then your last fight, fortunately, you had to short notice, but we were talking about this. But you didn't want to say no. You had to cut like 30 pounds in some stupid short amount of time, and that didn't help. But so, how's your perspective for this fight now since you can actually fully prepare for your opponent?
It's really good because, primarily when I'm training, my whole focus is diet and weight loss, at least for the last camp. I wasn't trying to get better as a fighter. I wasn't trying to improve my technique. All my concern was burning calories and getting my weight down. And, ultimately it was, my demise because, I gassed out from such a hard weight cut. Now, I don't have to focus so much. I can have a little extra grub before I go train. So I feel good during training. I'm feeling good in my recovery. My sleep's better than ever. I'm fully hydrated. I'm ready to go.
Hell yes. And then you speak of sleep, is you saw still knock on your door at 7 o'clock in the morning?
Oh man, they just knocked on my door. So I had COVID a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they knocked on my door, and I was just like, I'm positive for COVID. They're like, all right, see you later. So knocked at 7 o'clock in the morning. I didn't really care for that.
I guess that's your ticket out of the little piss test. Just
That's right. That's
just
right.
cough a little bit, you know.
Yes, sir.
And then so with this, so there's a kind of a difference in styles with this. You are a wrestler, of course. When we talked the first time, so you're boring as hell, which I think is maybe kind of selling yourself short considering what we've seen so far. Whereas
Sure.
Benitez, a little bit of a kickboxer. So how is this style matchup going for you, and how are you and your coaches preparing for this?
Benitez is tough, man. He's been in the UFC for years. He's fought a who's who. He's fought, I believe he fought Usman. He lost to Usman by decision. He's a great rangy southpaw. He has great straight punches. His technique is so crisp. He's on point. He's very powerful. It's just just another day though, man. My last opponent was a southpaw, so I going from southpaw to southpaw instead of going southpaw orthodox southpaw. A lot of the techniques that I practiced, for Gavin Tucker, I'm going to implement in this game plan. Now seeing that I'm going to be bigger, I'm going to be faster, I'm going to feel better. I'll be able to implement the things I worked on more than I was, against Gavin Tucker. I just felt, I was just so tired after about halfway through the first round. I couldn't really do what I wanted to do in my head. I wanted to do it, but my body just wasn't giving the output given the circumstances. But now back at lightweight, like I said, feeling good 2 weeks out. I think it's a great, exciting matchup. It has fight of the night written all over it. I know he doesn't want to wrestle. I don't want to wrestle. I want to knock him out. I want the doctor waking him up on the canvas.
Whew. That's exactly what I like to hear. And then this is going to be a good card too. Unfortunately, we didn't get UFC. We didn't get a pay-per-view like we're kind of had our fingers crossed for. Sean Shelby kind of messed that one up for us, but it's all good. I'm not going to hold him to it too much, but UFC Vegas 16, still a really good card, especially since it's going to be headlined by Hermanson, Holland. Really good fight right there. So I feel like this is almost a bigger. It's able to argue that it's a bigger card than what you won the last couple times at least.
Sure. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't know anybody that's on the card. I might even have teammates on the same card. But unfortunately, right now, I'm in Justin Jaynes mode, man. I'm being selfish. All I care about is myself right now until after December 5th. I wish everyone the best, but I need to focus on myself, and I need to focus getting back into the win column. I don't care if I'm the first fight on the card, if I'm the co-main. I don't care if it's Khabib's the main event, Conor McGregor. All I care about is me getting my paycheck and knocking Gabriel Mowgli out.
Hey, you get the paycheck and then the extra 50K every single time.
Hey, I want 100K, man. I'm going for the 100K, man. I want fight. and knockout of the night. So let's fucking go.
Excuse me. Did not mean to sell you short on that one. I know. Get this man his money, please. So, with this fight, kind of what are you looking forward to most? Do you have like a biggest concern right now in camp, or is that little trade secrets at this point?
No, man, I don't have any secrets. My game plan's always the same. I'll tell him the same thing I'll tell you. I just need to hit him harder than he hits me and hit him more than he hits me. It's a rather simple game plan. I'm battling with some little undisclosed injuries, I guess I could say right now. But besides that, man, camp's going good. I feel good. My coaching staff is confident. I'm confident. You're going to see the Justin Jaynes that fought Frank Camacho, not the Justin Jaynes that fought Gavin Tucker. And I'm really excited to get in there and feeling good for a change. Like I said, that last camp was so tough and mentally tough, physically tough. I just couldn't get enough working because, of the weight, and I couldn't really focus. Like I said, every day I'd wake up stressed about my weight. And right now I wake up, have a bowl of cereal, eat a bagel.
Well, what cereal? What cereal are we talking?
My cereal of choice is Reese's Puffs. Let's go.
Hey, Reese's Puffs. Do I hear a sponsorship in the future, please?
What? Let's go.
Oh, that would be bad. I love a good Reese's Puffs. The chocolate peanut butter, one of the best combos in the world.
I actually, in any combination, I believe chocolate and peanut butter together is the best combination. Whether it's ice cream, you got Moose Tracks, you got Reese, you got. I mean, it's the works. Peanut butter and chocolate is my personal favorite.
You're killing me right now. I mean, I'm on no UFC diet right now, but I am on one, and it's been rough so far.
Trust. I feel you, man. Yeah, the next 2 weeks, I'm a little heavier than I'd want to be.
Where are you around right now? Kind of walking around at.
I woke up today at 172. So by the end of next week, I want to be like 166, 167, and it'll be an easy weight cut. I mean, I shouldn't say easy. Weight cuts are never easy. They're never fun, but I'd rather cut to 155 than 145 any day of the week, any day of the year.
Well, it's crazy how much 10 pounds really makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead with that.
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh, perfect. And then, so kind of, we all love a good fighter prediction. So, Justin Jaynes, how do you see this fight with Gabriel Benitez going?
I honestly, Gabriel's been around for so long. He's had, over 10 fights in the UFC. After watching my last performance, I wouldn't be very impressed with me, honestly. Like, I look like a one-trick pony that, just looks for big punches and to knock people out. And, I'm more than a one-trick pony, and I feel that Gabriel's going to really underestimate my power and my speed, and he's going to be getting woken up by the doctor by the end of the first round.
End of the first round. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. End of round one. And that's not just a prediction, it's a spoiler. Especially if you want to stay in the mood of that fantastic t-shirt you have on right now.
Savage as fuck, bro. Let's go!
Now, are you a WWF fan yourself? You kind of grew up in that era.
Hell yeah, Steve Austin is my man, dude. I'm hoping one day that I'll make it big enough to where I'll get a shout out by Steve Austin or get to shake the man's hand. Because honestly, being a big pro wrestling fan, pro wrestling is how I got into amateur wrestling. Amateur wrestling is how I got into MMA. So I mean, if you really look at it in a sense, if you want to break it down, Steve Austin's the reason I'm in the spot I am right now. Because again, I wanted to be Steve Austin when I was a kid. I got into middle school wrestling, elementary school wrestling, which transitioned obviously to MMA. So in a sense, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the reason I am the way I am right now.
That's badass. I mean, we talked in our first interview that you could check out if you over on our channel, anywhere else you find us. We're talking, or at least you were, you're going over how you were kind of, I'll put in quotes, boring, and you're kind of in your early stages, and so you're coming out with all these different kind of walkouts and fun stuff like that. Have you never thought of coming out with the whole Steve Austin get up, the jorts, the vest, smashing the beer cans together?
I have thought about it. I was going to do it on the amateur circuit, but once you get in the UFC, it's a very professional organization that you have to wear what they tell you to wear, and there's not, and I really don't want to piss them off, man.
A little too early for that.
Yeah, a little too early for that. Let me get established first. But I love my job. I love the organization I compete for. Everybody is so cool, and they take care of. I know a lot of fighters. Prior to getting signed, oh man, UFC, they don't take care of their fighters. Listen, I'm taken care of every single day. They have a strength coach for me. They have a nutritionist for me. They have a physical therapy group for me that, hey, look, my finger hurts. I go in there for an hour. They'll just work on my finger or evaluate what I have to do. The UFC's taking care of me so well, and I'm not trying to break any rules or piss anybody off because I want to stay here, and I plan to stay here.
Totally okay with that. Let's not step on Dana White's toes. There's no need for that. I would like to stay away from that. I know I'm nowhere near close to level of Ariel Helwani spoiling UFC 200 and Brock Lesnar coming back and game banned. But, let's just stay away from that all in general. And then speaking about that whole WWF stuff, Steve Austin, Colby Covington, he has started coming out recently to Kurt Angle's theme music, which I think it's fantastic. I mean, do you kind of have like an opinion on his whole gimmick, if we want to call it that?
So Colby Covington, I think he's an incredible fighter, and I've never met him personally. I've never trained with him personally, but I've heard behind the camera he's a really, really chill, humble guy. I can't make it a personal or an honest opinion about it because I don't know the guy, but Chael Sonnen said it best and was the best at it. Is everybody wants to be liked by everybody, and those are the most popular fighters. But then you get the original gangster like Chael Sonnen to come in there, and he didn't want everyone to like him. He wanted everyone to hate him. And look at how popular, got him a UFC title shot more than once. I think he had like 3 title shots. And I think Chael's an incredible fighter, and I'm a big fan of him. But his mouth, primarily got him where he was. So, I think Colby's kind of trying to take that road of he wants to be the heel. It's a WWF role, man. You got your fan favorites. You got the guys that. It's the same concept, but trying to transition. Like Connor did the same thing, and he's the best at it. And I think Chael is probably the best shit talker ever. Connor followed a close second.
I really do love Chael. He's so
look
funny.
at their success.
Exactly. I mean, we all know Chael's son. From the Bean Streets of Westland, Oregon, undefeated, champion every single weight class, never lost a round. He's the undisputed GOAT. If we want to go that, and then maybe on the same sense of Colby coming out to Kurt Angle's theme music, talking Steve Austin, are we going to ever be able to hear Justin Jaynes come out to some glass breaking?
Man, I don't know if the crowd. I'd have to do it when there's a crowd,
of course,
and something that I might look into with a crowd, and actually, especially I get some momentum going, there'd be nothing better than listen to that glass break and like that'd be incredible. But before jumping into that, if after I win this fight, keep your eyes on the cage, because after the referee pulls me off, the show's not over yet. So I'm gonna leave you a little cliffhanger there, and I'm hoping eventually, maybe on ESPN, Steve Austin will see a thing or two that he likes. Maybe he'll give me a shout out. Maybe he'll be at one of the live events. And if I know that Steve Austin's at live events, you better bet your ass you're gonna hear some glass break when I walk out.
Damn right. And then, I mean, tied to Vossa Tessa Shuey. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that back at Fight Island for whatever reason. Hey, Shuey, you can bang some beer cans together. Steve Austin's probably going to be in the front row if he's there. Hey, share a beer with Steve. And I know UFC is all about that money. Dana wants all about that money. That's going to get eyes to it. So, let's do that. Then also on that whole kind of card then, so, or if we want to talk UFC, talk about a guy that is from Michigan like yourself, Chaos Williams. If we want to just talk about his little knockout last weekend at UFC Vegas 14, you shouted him out on Twitter, and that was one hell of a straight hand that he hit him with. So what was it like seeing like a hometown guy like that kind of make a name for himself in that big a fashion?
Listen, I've been saying it for years, and people have been saying it for years. Michigan produces killers, and I can't stress enough how much I love seeing guys like myself that are from Michigan that are going above and beyond, like Chaos is. Him and I, we don't hang out on weekends, but I tell you what, anytime there's a Michigan guy in the cage, you bet your ass some room for him. Cody Stamen, Darren Cruikshank, Chaos Williams, Jamal Hill's coming up. He's a Michigan guy. Kevin Lee. These guys are all, although we're not, I'm close with some of them, not with all. It doesn't matter. I'm a Michigan-made guy, and I'm a Michigan fan. And, it was incredible. It was great. I saw him on the CoMain, and I was like, holy shit, man, he's only 1-0 in the UFC. He's already on the CoMain. Saw he had a stud, saw he was a big dog, but he came out and he did his thing, man. He just, from my understanding, I've never trained with him, but I've talked to a lot of people, is he has unnatural power that you it's just sometimes you're just born with something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
not to mention, I was talking to Cody Stamen a couple days ago at the PI about it, and the guy busts his ass. And there's nothing I like more than a guy that works hard and outworks everyone, and his performance just keeps showing. And I think he's 10 or 11-1 now. I think my biggest thing is, if he wasn't a hard worker, I probably wouldn't be as happy for him. But I know that guy's in the gym busting his ass every day, in and out. And so I couldn't be more happy for him. And I'm proud to say that I'm from Michigan. He's from Michigan. So, Chaos, man, I'm really proud of you. And let's just keep going to the top, man. I'll take over featherweight, lightweight. You handle welterweight. Michigan, man, all the way, baby. Let's go.
Badass. I love seeing the hometown stuff and kind of the same sense there. So when we had Josh Evan on a number of months ago, we were coming up to, I believe it was UFC, I think the 248, something in that sense. So what we like to do again, what some of the our fans want, is for you to predict a little bit of the co-main and main event action from what's taking place this weekend at UFC. It was a 246. 256. And so co-main, we have Valentina Shevchenko against Jennifer Maia. How do you see that one going?
Shevchenko is, to me, the best woman fighter in the world right now.
Over Nunes.
Yeah, I believe so. I think she's more well-rounded.
Okay.
I think Amanda is. I'm not taking away from Amanda because obviously she's in the GOAT run for the women. But Amanda, to me, is a better version of Chris Cyborg. Just a physical specimen that's just so powerful and so aggressive and so relentless. When you look at someone like Shevchenko, who is very, very powerful, but she's calm, cool, collected, and very, very technical. Now, I train with Jessica Ai. Jessica Ai is a personal friend of mine. We've hung out, outside of the gym before, and Jessica's fucking tough. And watching that fight was hurt because it's like Shevchenko, left kick to the body, left kick to the body, left kick to the body. Okay, now I'm drawing the hands down. She notices when she's fighting, so she's thinking to herself, is like, okay, the left kicks, Jess's hands are starting to drop. They're starting to drop. Go up top, bang. I hate to see my girl Jess get knocked out, but honestly, Shevchenko, I mean, hats off to her, man. And I think against Maia, it's not going to be any different. I think she's going to pick her apart on the feet and knock her out.
Well, one of my favorite things, I mean, that was a scary knockout a couple summers ago. I was thankful, of course, that Jessica was able to get up from that because she was down for a minute. It was crazy, but Valentina Shevchenko, she's an assassin. She'll kick your head off and then dance on you.
And grapple too, and let's not take away from her grappling. I believe she has some submission finishes as well.
She does.
Shevchenko, I think that,
killer.
In my opinion, I think she's the best women's fighter on the radar right now.
It is hard to argue. She's just so good in everything she does. And then moving into the main event with the flyweight title on the line, Davison Figueiredo defending it for the first time. Of course, he brutalized Joseph Benavidez, which is hard to say because everyone loves Joe, and then you've also worked with him. He's a kind of couture guy too, and then he's fighting up-and-comer Alex Perez. How do you see this one going?
Man, I think Perez is Joe Benavidez is a good friend of mine at the gym. He's an extreme couture guy. He's a guy that I look up to quietly. I see how hard he works and how much time he puts in and how many years he's put in. And, I was very devastated, emotionally to see, him take the 2 losses in a row like that. But with that being said, this guy's the real deal, man. I know how hard Joe works. And if you're beating Joey Benavidez, you're the fucking man. And I think Alex Perez is still young. I think he's hungry. I think he's going to have the hunger edge on him. I don't think he's going to have enough for him. I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Figueiredo.
Yeah. However you, not. I think that he's gonna put Perez away probably within 3.
He could very well be the future of the flyweight. It's only a matter of time until Triple C comes back and tries to retake his crown. I think at that division.
Honestly, if I'm gonna make a bold call out right now, is I want Jared Brooks back in the UFC. In my personal and humble opinion, I think Jared Brooks beat the Brazilian. If you watch the fight, if you look at the stat card, if you're in Brazil fighting a Brazilian in Brazil, you have to finish. And unfortunately, Jared didn't finish. But you look at the stats, I think he won. I'd love to see Jared get brought back and take that title from him.
Let's do that. Let's make that happen, Dana. Hey, bring him back on. And then final statement going to this fight. Of course, we have a couple weeks until then. Beginning to full camp. What is your last statement that you want to leave for either fans or Benitez himself?
Fans, it's going to be the same statement I leave every time, man. Don't blink, because this guy can knock me out quick. I can knock him out quick. That's what makes it exciting. This isn't going to be a boring grappling exchange. We're not going to be trying to chain wrestle, looking for submissions. I feel that, his submission game is very similar to mine. I know he's a black belt, but, we're not competitive grapplers. We're top game, punishing grapplers. He has a nasty guillotine, a high elbow guillotine that I'm expecting. And, if we do get an exchange, I'm going to be looking for it. It's don't blink, because I'm swinging for the fences and I know this guy's going to try and knock me out.
That message for Benitez himself.
Oh, Benitez, you better bring it, man. I don't want any excuses. After I knock him out, I don't want him telling the press that, oh, well, I was COVID, I had COVID recent, and I just couldn't recover. Motherfucker, I had it too. And whether I win or lose, I'm humble in victory. I'm humble in defeat. No excuses. Gavin Tucker, hats off to him. I have no excuse for that. I gassed out. It is what it is, man. That's not an excuse. That's just a part of the sport. And I hope he's ready to rock and roll in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. I know we're all very much looking forward to this one. Of course, Justin Jaynes, Gabriel Benitez, December 5th, UFC Vegas 16, Hermansen in Holland. It is for sure a fight that you will not want to miss, whether it be on the prelims, whether it be hopefully on the main card or anything like that. You are going to have to watch this fight. And then if we've learned anything, everyone that listens to this, please go at Steve Austin every single time you go onto Twitter, and let's make a meetup happen. It's going to happen, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And then just make sure, go follow Justin Jaynes. Follow his Twitch, Justin Jaynes, over there on Twitch. Justin Jaynes UFC?
Justin Jaynes MMA. At Twitch, it's Justin Jaynes MMA. On Twitter, it's Justin Jaynes MMA. Instagram is the only different one. Since I got my blue check mark, I can't change it. It's JAY9MI.
And of course, all that stuff is going to be linked. Go check him out, because not only is he posting stuff about UFC, not only is he playing some COD Warzone, he's also shooting some coyotes in his spare time too, making sure those little things don't, stop being such pests that they are. That was a great picture.
Right.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, go check this out. Go check out the first interview if you haven't yet. And best of luck, Justin Jaynes. I cannot wait to text you. Congrats on another victory inside the UFC Octagon.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate your time, man. Thanks for having me.